What's up, guys? I am BBM Gaming, and today we are back with another Raid Shadow Legends video. I do apologize, it has been a while since I posted my last video. I am currently working at Applebee's, and there has been a lot of stuff that came up. I am working a little bit more hours, but I will try to continue posting more videos. Now, today's video I'm very excited for, because they released new champions, and my favorite one is Guri. I think that's how you say his name, Guri. This guy, his kit just looks insane. Heals this champion by 50% of their max HP whenever an ally or enemy dies. That looks like a pretty good passive. I wonder how this guy would attack, because he doesn't have a weapon. Like, is he just going to hit with his fists? Or is he just going to do, like, some kind of fire or lightning attack? I'm really excited. Battering Skull attacks one enemy, has a 20% chance of placing a provoked debuff for one turn. That's good. And he's a defensive-based champion. His defense is pretty high. Base accuracy at 15. Increases ally resistance on battles by 4. That's pretty good aura. But Kimu Charge attacks all enemies, has a 40% chance of placing a stun debuff. So an AoE stun, total 60% chance of placing that on a 3-turn cooldown. That is actually really good. That makes him a good candidate for a stun set. Frightful Warcry. Places a 25% strengthen buff on all allies for 2 turns. Also places a shield buff for 2 turns on all allies with less than 50% HP. The shield buff is equal to 15% of the target's max HP. That's a pretty decent shield. But the strengthen buff is probably the strongest buff in the game right now. Just because it negates 25% less damage. So he looks really good. This guy, Genbo, he looks amazing. I looked over his kit, and hopefully he smacks. Because Sword Trance places a 30% increased crit rate buff and a 30% increased crit damage buff on this champion for 3 turns, and then grants an extra turn on a... I think that's a 4-turn cooldown. Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, that's a 4-turn cooldown. And then he has Heartless Blitz. Attacks all enemies. Has an 80% chance of decreasing the duration of all buffs by 1 turn. This effect cannot be resisted on critical hits. That's insane. That's on a 3-turn cooldown. So, and he's a Void Epic, so I'm guessing he's going to smack, hopefully. And his A1 Twin Soul Swords attacks one enemy 2 times. Each hit steals any increased attack buffs. Each hit also has a 30% chance of stealing 1 random buff. The increased attack buff, steal, cannot be resisted. That's actually really unique. That's interesting. Immune to decreased attack debuffs, will ignore unkillable buffs when attacking under increased attack. So I think this is to counter the swift parry method that's in the arena. Because if this guy smacks, then I can definitely see him in Platinum Arena with going against defensive teams that have swift parry. Like there's certain teams, like with Brachus the Shifter, they have swift parry artifact sets. And when you put swift parry on Brachus the Shifter, it's like he never dies. Because you hit him once, he survives the hit, he gets the unkillable, and then once the unkillable wears off, he revives himself, and then when he takes another fatal hit, there's another unkillable. So I think he is meant to counter that. That's what his kit is based on, anyway. Alright. Tatsu. I'm very bad at butchering these names, guys. I do apologize for that. So this guy, I've heard, he is a clan boss beast. From the people who have him. Attacks one enemy, 40% chance of placing a leech debuff for 2 turns. Okay, I can see why that's clan boss potential. 50% decrease attack on all enemies. Alright. Places an increased defense buff on all allies for 2 turns, and a 15% continuous heal buff on all allies for 1 turn. On a 3-turn cooldown. 3-turn cooldown for rushing death, by the way. And his passive Spirit Touch removes 1 random debuff from this champion at the start. At the start of each turn, will remove stun, sleep, freeze, fear, or true fear, and provoke debuffs before any other debuffs. So this guy, almost like Gerhard the Stone, he can be your stun target because he's going to be removing the stun and he's going to be taking a turn. So he removes the stun and then he takes a turn. So this guy does seem clan boss potential. Yeah, that's where he's used right now, is clan boss. So this guy looks pretty good, and his defense increases allied defense in all battles by 25%. I thought this guy would be an attack-based champion because he looks like an attack-based champion, like he's got the sword, but he's defense, which is really weird. There's one more epic. Chani, this champion, based on the reviews and what people have been telling me, she's also good for clan boss. 25% poison sensitivity. Alright. Places a 50% increased accuracy and 50% increased attack buff on this champion for 2 turns. Then attacks 1 enemy, places an HP burn debuff for 2 turns if this attack is critical. Okay, almost like a Yoshi the Drunkard ability there. Attacks all enemies, 50% chance of increasing the duration of all debuffs by 1 turn. So that, it's almost like a Vizier, except it's not multiple hits. Now, if that was a multi-hitter, she would basically be an epic version of Vizier, and we all know how OP Vizier is. Immune to decreased accuracy debuffs. Increases this champion's crit rate by 0.5% for each point of accuracy they have. Huh. That's unique. Kind of cool. Now, I'm saying this right now, the rares just suck. Like, the rares are trash. Marauder, 25% decreased attack debuff for 2 turns. Who cares? Has a 50% chance of placing a provoke debuff for 1 turn. Places a shield buff on this champion for 2 turns equal to 20% of their match HP. Also places a 15% reflect damage buff on all allies except this champion for 2 turns. Attacks 1 enemy, places a stun debuff for 1 turn. HP in all battles by 50%. So this guy, I think he was meant for early game Fire Knight, really. But based on the reviews, really kind of crap. But that's also my opinion. Actually, hold on. 21 base HP for a rare, that's not bad. And they have Vegabond. This almost looks like a Baba Yaga kind of deal. Like, it almost looks like Baba Yaga. 20% chance of placing a sleep for 1 turn, whatever. Block buffs. So yeah, Vegabond is just... based on the reviews and what her kit is, or what his or her kit is just crap. I think there was a Dark Elf one. Yep, the new Dark Elf. Ruel the Huntsmaster. I've seen this guy's damage, and people are saying he hits harder than Trunda. Which is insane. So he's going to be... So hopefully he's going to be the new, like, arena nuker, and hopefully push Trunda out of the wits. Alright, and then... There's one new demon spawn. This guy, Girlos Helma. This guy looks like something straight from Doom. Like, straight out of Doom. Like, it looks cool, but he looks something straight out of Doom. It's awesome. Attacks one enemy, has a 75% chance of placing HP burn debuff and decreased accuracy debuff for 3 turns. That's pretty good. Fills his champion's turn meter by 20% if the attack is critical. That's a decent ability. Attacks all enemies, a 75% chance of placing a 60% decreased defense debuff for 2 turns. I wish that did something else. See, what I think would be a great combination for this ability, decreased defense, decreased turn meter by 30%. So a 30% decreased turn meter and a decreased defense. That wouldn't be really That wouldn't be busted. That would probably be like a really amazing ability for this guy. But another defense break champion, that's really good on a 3-turn cooldown. Not bad. A1, Hungry Shafts. Attacks one enemy 2 times. Each hit fills the champion's turn meter by 10% if the target is under a decreased defense, HP burn, or decreased accuracy debuff. So this guy's all about turn meter fill, decreased defense, and HP burn, and decreased accuracy. And his aura is increase ally attack in Doom Tower's battles by 30%. And the reviews are good and Force Keep Clan Boss. Oh yeah, that's right, because of the HP burn, decreased accuracy, and decreased defense. I can see why. I think there was a new dwarf. Yeah, this guy. This guy, he fully depletes target's turn meter, fills his champion's turn meter by the amount the target loses, has a 75% chance of placing HP burn, and a 25% weaken debuff on the target for 3 turns. That's a good ability. That's a really good ability. Removes all buffs from a target enemy, then attacks them. Steals the buffs instead if the target's under HP burn debuff. Under a HP burn debuff placed by the champion, reduces the cooldown of Quicksand Grasp by 2 turns if the target is killed by the skill while under an HP burn debuff placed by this champion. So, I hate when they release skills like that. Like, grants an extra turn if the target kills somebody, or reduces the cooldown if somebody kills this other person. I'm not saying all champions like this suck. I'm saying usually when they release new champions that do these kind of skills, they don't hit hard. Like, they hit like wet noodles. It's kind of annoying. A1 attacks all enemies. AoE on a A1, that's pretty good. Has a 30% chance of placing a 50% decreased accuracy debuff for 2 turns. That is actually really good. And his passive decreases the damage all allies receive by 15% and deflects that damage onto each enemy under HP burn. Under a HP burn debuff placed by this champion, whenever this champion is attacked, deflects 30% of the damage instead. So, would that work for Fire Knight? Like, if the Fire Knight is under HP burn, he attacks you, will that damage go towards the shield? I'm really curious. Alright, on to the next one, guys. We are almost done. I think there's 2 more that I want to go over. Lizardman. Romantu, Drake's Blood. This guy looks insane. His kit just... Oh my god. Drake's Fury. Attacks one enemy 4 times. The first hit, 75% chance of placing a 60% decreased defense, 25% weaken, decreased speed, block buffs, and true fear. If he places all those debuffs after the attack. What I'm thinking instantly, Clan Boss. Because the decreased defense, weaken, and block buffs, they're going to hit. The decreased speed and the true fear won't. So I was thinking Clan Boss instantly as soon as I saw that skill. His A1 has a stun. If the cooldown increase is successful, so he decreases the cooldown. No, increases the cooldown of an enemy, and if that hits, he decreases the cooldown skill of with the ally with the highest turn meter and skill on cooldowns. That's pretty good. Attacks all... This one was an interesting one. I like this one. Attacks all enemies, has an 80% chance of removing all buffs from all enemies before attacking. Has an 80% chance of placing a block active skills buff for 2 turns on enemies without passive skills. Also has an 80% chance of placing a block passive skills debuff for 2 turns on enemies with passive skills. So, think about it for a second. Could this guy potentially be the champion that could basically ruin dungeons 21 through 25? Because they have new passives where they take only 10% of their max HP when being attacked with champions like Septimus, Coldheart, or Royal Guard. So can this guy potentially lock out those passives, which would probably be really insane. And then his passive is whenever an enemy places stun, sleep, freeze, fear, true fear, or provoke on this champion, will instantly fill this champion's turn meter by 30% and places 30% increased speed buff and a shield buff on them for 2 turns. The shield buff is equal to 30% of this champion's max HP. Stat-wise, really good. Increases ally accuracy in all battles by 80. That is a really good aura. Base accuracy at 20, so if you put him in the lead, that's already a base 100 accuracy, which is really good. So people think accuracy aura champions are just bad. I don't think they're bad. I use Drexstar in my lead for almost everything. I love using him in my aura lead. If I'm not using Drexstar in my aura lead, then I use Necret. This Necret has a 80 resist in all battles. All right, guys, final one. The new Bannerlord. This guy looks insane. Helior. Oh my god, I can't tell you how badly I want this champion, guys. A1. Attacks one enemy, increases the champion's defense by 5%. If this attack is critical, stacks up to 20%. Will also heal this champion by 75% of their defense after attacking if their defense has already been increased to 20%. So he's almost got like a rock breaker kind of ability in there. If not, it's a little bit better. It's a little bit better than rock breakers. Solar Blessing attacks all enemies, places a shield buff on all allies for 2 turns equal to 20% of the damage inflicted. So he's almost got like a Sir Nick and a miscreated monster ability in there, which is really nice. We do need more champions like this, so that makes him a very good candidate for Spider's Den. He could also be your tank for Spider 20 if you are trying to beat that. That's really good. Transfers all debuffs from all allies to a target enemy, then attacks that enemy with the default skill. Converts this champion's resistance into additional accuracy when using this skill. That is on a 3-turn cooldown. Holy crap. That is really good. So think of it. If you're fighting against the dragon, you got all these poison debuffs, all these weaken debuffs. Like the weaken debuff, you got all these poisons. He uses this ability on the dragon. You're going to transfer all those poisons to the dragon. So you basically want... I'd say you almost want no resistance if you're fighting against the dragon with this champion. Because poison is really good against the dragon. Like, you can't... Like, I cannot beat the dragon without poison, like, or HP burn. So it helps out a lot. This guy's passive. Whenever an ally that has 2 or more debuffs is attacked, this champion will absorb 30% of the damage inflicted on that ally. So that's almost like Ursiga Warcaller's passive, a similar thing. except it's not an AoE, I don't think. Because hers does it to all the allies. I think this always does it to one ally. Anyway, guys, 20-minute video. Holy crap. One more thing I wanted to talk about. A lot of Void champions got buffed. I pulled Coldheart. Coldheart is amazing. Like when I first pulled, like I said before, when I first pulled her, I thought she was trash, and I sacrificed her, which was a big mistake. I love this champion. I really do. She has helped me out for Fire Knight, and she helped me beat stage 13 of the Spirit Keep, which was... higher stages of Spirit Keep is so hard if you do not have heal reduction. It's ridiculous. So I'm going to do a quick Fire Knight run for you guys. This is my Fire Knight team. Syl the Drakes used to be in it, but I took her out to replace her with Coldheart. I love Coldheart. She's an awesome champion. Shamrock is there for, like, revival, in case somebody gets low or more support. Necret is to keep everybody alive. Harvest Jack and Direct Star are just meant for, like, wave control and damage. And then Coldheart, damage and turn meter decrease. And heal reduction. I kind of want them to take out Errol first. Because Errol, he can be a pain. I heard that in stage 20, Errol could actually one-shot certain champions with his negation ability. I think Errol needs a buff, though. Errol hits hard. He needs at least one AoE ability that just smacks. Alright, so we're at the actual boss. I don't think it's that the Fire Knight has a lot of HP. It's just... he heals a lot, and he just does a lot of damage, and you have to get through his shield. And it's just insane. I can't wait for them to do custom AI. Because some of the AI on these champions are just stupid. Coldheart's AI is smart because she won't go for the Heart Seeker when the Fire Knight has a shield up, which is just amazing. Alright. Necret putting the shield on Coldheart to keep her alive. That is amazing. The shield is down. Like I said, guys, Coldheart is the ultimate Fire Knight champion. She hits 4 times on her A1 with a heal reduction, decreased accuracy, and a poison, and she has an enemy max HP ability that fully depletes turn meter. She is a Fire Knight goddess, and I love her. And I'm glad I pulled her. She actually might die. Need another Heart Seeker, Coldheart. Come on. Give me another Heart Seeker. Come on. Yeah, there it is. The Fire Knight's dead now. Hopefully soon enough I can pull Allure. I butchered that name. Allure or, what was the name? Lysandra, that's her name. Or Razin, because Razin has Bog Down, which fully depletes the target's turn meter, which is just nuts. Anyway, guys, that is going to be today's video. I do plan on posting a lot more, so just give me a little bit to get everything settled. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like. Comment down below which one of the new champions are your favorite that I went over in this video, or any of the past new champions that they came out with, I will see you guys in the next one. This is BBM Gaming. I hope y'all have a great day.